waiting. Make sure when we get people online, I'm starting to see some people. Yes. Hey, Cynthia, how are you? It's nice to see you again here. Hey, Denny, how are you? Do the shout outs at the beginning. Anthony, hi, how are you? And then let's see, a lot of people. Yeah, Tanya, hello, how are you? Richard, hello. Chester, hey, what's going on? Thank you. So we have a lot of people online now. Hello, it's Roxana. Good night. Hello. Hey, Brett, how are you? Okay. Today I wanted to, hey, Ryan, hello from England. I love England. Yeah, it's great to see you too. Charlie, hey, how are you? Hey, Bill Peck, great friend of mine. Hey, that's Karen. Hello. Okay, we're getting a lot of people. Carrie, I'm doing like, and I can see you and I can see you. I don't see nobody because I'm a hand. Okay, let's see. Hey, JD, how are you? Omar, what's going on? Joel, I'm going to keep it coming for about another minute. There's Bill again. Let's see. Bernie, hey, what's going on, man? Gabrielle, I think that's how you would say it. What else? Let's see. Hey, yeah, Brett, I'm glad you're doing good. It's good to see you too. Yeah, and then Go DPS Music, hey. We have one of our sponsors there. Hey, John. All right, I'm going to start rocking here. Now, I've got a pretty cool setup today. I've used this before. Right here, I have one of my all-time favorite amps. And this amp is a 25-watt solid-state amp with the coolest reverb ever. Hey, Alexis, how are you? So a lot of people are there. And I really love this amp. I'm going to play this guitar with a clean sound. And then I've got the 40-watt tube. It's got a Celestion in there. It's a really high-end tube amplifier with multi-channels. But I wanted to kind of give a little demo of both. And then today, it is the world according to MAB, Joey and Robert. Wait! It should be the world according to Joey. That's it, just Joey. I, me, I'm the hand. If you ever need a hand, call Joey. Okay, see, Joey thinks that he should be number one all the time. And sometimes I can't argue with him, but do you know what it's like living with a hand like this? He looks at me like, what? So all I can tell you is this. I say this, and I hope I don't get too serious here, but this is going to be an interesting program tonight because I tell people all the time, I have lived 10 lifetimes, and it's all from doing something. It's from playing a guitar. And from playing guitar, hey, Joey, from playing guitar, it has allowed me to do things and see things and experience things that are just, how do you quantify it? I mean, I've been in the jungles of the Philippines. I was literally 1 foot away, blindfolded in front of the center stone of Stonehenge, or people don't know, feet. I was basically a half a meter in front of the center stone of Stonehenge. Outside of the pyramids and the Taj Mahal, I've pretty much seen it. Mona Lisa, yes. The Andes Mountains, yes. I've seen the Alps in every country that has Alps. And I've been on the highest peak of the Alps called Pilatus in Switzerland, where it took a half a day by a 100-year-old cable car, this car, just to get there. And so this is just a microcosm, just a little bit of what I've been able to do in music and what I've been able to see because of it. I mean, playing in China 15 times. People talk about China all the time from the United States. They don't know. If you've never been there, if you've never actually dealt with Chinese people, you don't really know. I mean, it's one thing to talk and talk. Joey can talk. But Joey walks the walk, too. And then Robert says nothing. Wait, Robert wants to say something. That's how you're going to get out of him. You know what you're going to get out of Robert? This! Now I'm playing the ET hybrid guitar. I love this guitar. I've shown this before, but look at the wood on this bad boy. Yes, I have my light, that little round light. But look at the wood up close. It's just so beautiful. This is such a beautiful guitar. It's called spalted maple. It's one of my favorite woods. It's actually a bright sounding wood. I've got it in humbucker mode now. And it's funny, I've been on a nitro kick lately, so I've been listening to... like machine gun. Hey. I love that song. And then I had this pre-chorus. I had this part. And then I also had this part. And then Jim came up with this, I'll take you higher. I'll take you higher. Machine gun. Machine gun. And then my favorite part of the song. Evil. And but it was a song about good. It was really cool because Machine Gun Eddie was kicking the devil's butt. See, in Nitro, I've said this before, we only wrote two kinds of songs. We either love you or we're gonna kill you. And believe me, Jim could do both. And he was so handsome, so girls loved him. And he was so deadly. I mean, he's a black belt in multiple forms of jiu-jitsu. I mean, he's a death machine, an absolute serious death machine. And we talked about it. Now, one of the things I want to talk about too is that the Go DPS app, it's called Go DPS Live. It is free. And, we've been having these flash sales every week on guitars, but the app is free. There's no... like, oh yeah, it's free, but then you got to pay $1 a month. Well, I remember being in Vegas, and I was actually there with my mom, of all things. We used to watch the fountains at Bellagio's and hear, time to say goodbye, better not. I can't speak Italian, even though I am Italian. But, and we would hear, dun, 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 and sit at Bellagio's, and I'd be drinking, what was I drinking back then? Bailey's Irish Cream. And my mom's drinking, what is she like? I know the name. I can't think of it right now. Anyway, it was like a Jack and Coke, but it wasn't Jack. It was something else. And, Scotch. Scotch and soda. That was her drink. And my dad liked Jack. Anyway, because his name was Jack. But anyway, we'd sit there and watch this stuff. And I'm not a big gambler, but... I just loved, I'm digressing here with all these, but I just loved the idea of doing that kind of thing, all these different experiences. Sorry, I got carried away because it's been 3 years since my mom passed away, so I kind of lost my train of thought. I was thinking to myself, it's been a long time since I've even seen her or heard her voice, and it's something. But anyway, getting back to the world according to MAB, and the Go DPS Live app, that's where I was alluding to here. Instead of doing these flash sales, you can go to the app. It's free. There's what I was saying about Vegas, that's right. Now, I'm sorry. My mom and I went to the old Las Vegas, and they had this like $1 million but you could take a picture in front of it. And the person said, okay, now you can get a free photo. And I looked at her and I said, how much does free cost? And she's like, what? And because I don't always believe in free, because there's some catch somewhere. But the Go DPS Live app, just type in Go, G-O-D-P-S Live, and then go to the app, download it. It is free. It's absolutely free. And what they do is Go DPS is part of 3 companies. There's Sawtooth with all the, Sawtooth drums, guitars, bass, amps, and then keyboards. And then there's Chromacast, the accessory company. And so those are all part of the umbrella that is this big, huge company. So there's Sawtooth, Chromacast, and Go DPS is the retail side. Now, when you go to the app, it is free. Anything you buy through the app from anything is got a 20% discount. So, and it costs nothing to join this app. It's just 20% from that point on. So it's really an incredible deal from an incredible company. I love this guitar. I did a demo of this that will be released shortly, but one of the cool things that I like is it's truly got telly pickups and a telly sound, and truly a humbucker sound. Now I am in the telly mode now. But see, with distortion is a natural compression. So you will never hear a difference between a single coil pickup that's a lot softer than a humbucker pickup. Watch. I'll be playing in the telly position. Now I'm in the humbucker position. Now I'm going to switch back and forth. This position up here, single coil, both, humbucker. It's super easy to operate this guitar. I'm a guitar player. I want it easy. I don't want it hard. See, Joey's like, what are you talking about? But it's true. I don't want to think, I've got enough to think about playing guitar. I just want to think about being good. I don't want to think about, let's see, where am I going to go to create the sound that I want to create? I don't want to think a lot about the gear. I just want the gear to sound good and to play good with the guitar. So I'm going to just switch back and forth. Upper position, single coil. Lower position, humbucker, in between both. And then these switches are so simple. One toggle switch here. Pretend it's only one guitar. And just take this away. You would have the telly position. So you'd have the lipstick pickup, both, and then the back pickup. And then this would be the humbucker position. So humbucker 1, neck position, both, and back humbucker. It's super easy. So this is only there to tell you, are you using single coils, both, or humbuckers? So anyway, now I'm going to set the humbucker in the bridge position and the single coil in the neck, and just flip back and forth. I'm going to switch to the clean sound so you can hear this a little better. Now what I did was I split up the amp. So I've got the distortion sound through the 40 watt, and I've got the clean sound coming through the little 25 watt. So you can hear this. Now what I did was I put a little compression on the guitar. In order to make single coils and humbuckers be a true hybrid, what we had to do is we had to leave them alone. So we left the humbuckers loud, which is where, volume-wise, which is where they normally are, and the single coils lower in volume, which is where they normally are. So, you know, we could have messed around and maybe brought the humbucker down and the single coil up, but that would have lost the integrity of the guitar. And I wanted a true telly sound and a true humbucker sound. So all we did was this. We left it alone. I'm using a little bit of compression. Now, here is the humbucker song. Here's the telly. Now here's the... So it's got that really twangy. Here's the lipstick pickup. Now watch, I'm gonna switch to humbucker. Telly. Humbucker. Telly. So you notice there's not really a volume difference with a little compression. That was humbucker. Now here's telly. Also get a more jazz sound with love this guitar, and it's got such a range of tones. Yeah, there's just so many things, but one of the things that I really love about it is the in-between sound. This is a combination of telly and humbucker. See, here's telly, here's humbucker, here's both. So you get the twang of the telly and the girth and thickness of a humbucker. Now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my life. And it's got the whammy bar, too. I forgot all about that. This is the whammy bar of death! This is a top-of-the-line German-made Floyd Rose, so it's the best in the world. And you know, for Floyd, it's numero uno, the top of the line. And so, but I want to talk to you a little bit about the life of MAB. You know, I started off saying that I've lived 10 lifetimes. And one of the things that I did when I was a little kid, I was very artistic. I might bring you guys up and show you a few things. I'm gonna do something a little crazy today. I'm gonna bring you upstairs out of my studio and show you about the history of my family. See, I'm a big history buff. And it makes me sad. I'm not a politician. I'll never talk about politics and religion, but it makes me very sad to see that some people in this world, because they don't agree with a philosophy or something, want to cancel or want to take away things from the past. See, you can't judge the past by the present because people thought differently. I mean, what would you be thinking about if this was the year 1913 and you were on the brink of going to war, and it was a world war, and we're talking chemical warfare, body parts? So, your frame of mind is a lot different from the past. So how do you compare it to today? You can't, and it's kind of like comparing Johann Sebastian Bach to Mozart. Well, yeah, the notes are the same, but I'm going to bring you guys upstairs and show you a little bit about my life here. Whoops, I'm upside down. How did that happen? Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, here we go. We're walking upstairs now. I'm in my studio here. Let me show you what I did. Now, I used to have, see, there's my control room. That's that little red light. And see, my face isn't so red now. It's just, I think that light's doing it a little bit. But anyway, and there's my old tape deck and my guitars. There's actually another 2 rooms in the back there. So, and then I have, check this out. This is great. Okay. I don't know if you can see this behind me. You see this rocking chair? That was my great-grandmother's. Now, we used to call her Bubby. It's Czech. I'm German, and then whatever century you look back at our family history, it was also Czech. Czechoslovakia, or I think they called it Bohemia. So anyway, my grandmother's called Bubby, my great-grandmother. I only met her. I only knew her for a little bit. Now I'm coming upstairs. It's kind of dark here because I have everything off. Let me turn it all on. Got to walk around. Got a pretty big place. Okay, we're turning on the lights. Check this out. Do you see this? Those I found when my mom passed away. I inherited a lot of things. This is a handmade mirror from Italy. Brass chandelier, all brass. This is all stuff from my parents that I was given because of when they died. My sister died, my younger sister. So it all went to me, which is crazy. Never thought that, but here, check this out. All those guitars. What I wanted to do in music, I never was out for the money. Now people think, Angelo is this, Angelo is that. My dad had a great saying. He said, if you worry too much about money, you're never going to make it. But I wanted to show you some things here. The life of Michael, because I've lived long enough to see the highest highs and to see everything from my younger sister and my parents die to the owner of the former guitar company that he was a family member. See this? I've got his bass here. He let me keep his bass he used to keep it here for when we toured. But I'm going to show you something about my artistic side here. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this. That is my great-grandfather, Joseph Vaca. Vaca was my family name on my mom's side, not like Spanish for cow, but it was Waka, W-A-C-H-A when it was Germany, and it was Vaca when it was Czech, depending on which century. This is dated December 5th, 1921. My family are a family of artists. And so this picture here is from my great-great-grandfather that I had framed. This picture here is framed from my great-great-grandfather. So is this. So is that. If I walk upstairs, now I have this is like a shrine to myself here. I got a lot of levels here. So I'm walking up, and I'm going to show you guys something that I haven't actually shown anybody. Okay, wait. Turn on all the lights here. See this picture here of that bluebird? The date is 11/18/1918. That was my great-grandfather. He painted this picture of a bluebird and carved the frame. My family is filled with art. And so what I did was I was born with an artistic ability. I was born with the ability to draw really good, and I was also born with the ability to play music. What I did is I was friends with a guy, great name, Adolf Schaller. And Adolf's family was from, obviously, Germany. Adolf was a great musician, and he was a great artist, and we were the same age. So what I did, and what Adolf did, and we used to like to play one game. Yeah, I live alone. And so anyway, we played dodgeball. We had three things that we loved: music, art, dodgeball. We'd try to kill each other. Dodgeball was huge when I was a kid. If you could break a window in the gymnasium, you were a god. So I'm drawing with Adolf. I'm a really good artist, but Adolf was better. Adolf, when we were 10 years old, 11 years old, Adolf drew a picture of a lunar landing. I swear, you could look like you could have jumped into it. And we didn't call dodgeball. Back in those days, we called it bombardment. And we were not kidding. Yeah, like Vince Vaughn, only weirder, crazier. And so what we did, I saw that movie. So anyway, Adolf and I would draw. He was a drummer. He also played accordion. I played piano. My mom played accordion. So what he did was we would play music. Then we would draw together. Then we would play bombardment and try to kill each other. Oh, those were the days. And so I think now I asked my nephew, Alex, have you ever played dodgeball? No, Uncle Mike, they won't allow it. Won't allow it because you're wusses. We played it hard. We played to kill each other. It was war, I tell you. That's why I love metal so much. Joey was into it. Joey's like, I'm going to kill Adolf. I'm going to kill him. You know, it's like, don't stop, Joey. But here's the reason I'm talking about this with my life. I learned very early on what I was best at. I was going to be a professional guitarist from the time I was 10 years old. From the time I was 10, I said, I'm going to play guitar. I knew I could draw really good. I've drawn my whole life. I was great at caricatures. Adolf, you know, even back when I was a kid, I admitted he was better. Yeah, I'm going to show you some of these. There's almost 100 guitars on display here. I got a lot. And then I also have Egyptian hieroglyphs. Now check this out. Fans from mine literally took trains, planes, and automobiles from Cairo, Egypt, to come and see me in Canada some years ago. I mean, they were super fans. They literally, trains, planes, automobiles, literally. And so they spent 2 days trying to get to me. They gave me these gifts. They also gave me my writing of Michael Angelo in Arabic. I really loved it. And these are great fans. Now here's this. My mother took a course in hieroglyphs. And you know what? She said those aren't right, that they look right, but that it's kind of gibberish. So, and I believe my mom because she wouldn't lie to me, but I love the way they look. They're the real deal. And so I have them framed. But here's what I'm saying about the world. Can we see the double neck Charvel? Yeah, let's show you. I have the only Gibson guitar on planet Earth. Okay, there, we got cut off there for a second. Okay. This is it. I'm trying to show you, but there we go. That's it. Check this out. Let me show you. See where it says WRC? I'm trying to get you guys a good picture of it. There it is. That's Wayne R. Charvel, the man. It's really cool, and I'm not going to get rid of it. I have a lot of guitars, but I have to admit, being with Sawtooth has just been such a gift and a pleasure. But here's what I'm saying about myself. Nobody gave me this stuff. You know, it's not like people said, oh, Michael, you're like so awesome, bro. We're like going to give you stuff. What stuff do you want? Do you want stuff? We got stuff. No, I earned it. I worked for it. And nobody gave me anything, but that doesn't mean I didn't have help. I'm not a lone wolf. I am not a lone wolf. that's the thing. I work with people. If you work, I have the American flag too. I feel very, very blessed to be born in the United States. My dad had a saying about the U.S. It's not perfect, but the experiment works, and it's not political or anything. I just very happy that I'm here. But all this stuff you see here, you see that's an old Ibanez V. That's a Gibson reverse V. I had a friend of mine, when I used to teach Tom Morello at the Music Gallery in Highland Park, the store's still there. The owner, Frank, I've known him since I was 16. He calls me up. He goes, Mike, Rick Nielsen just bought 2 of these. Buy one of these and put it under your bed. Now I'm going to show you. I don't know if I still, check this out. I still have the price tag on this guitar. It is mint. And I have a lot of guitars like this, but I love guitars. They're like my kids. And I don't have children, but, and the reason that I'm telling, who does all those? Actually, I do. I don't, I'm not so arrogant that I have people come over and clean my place. I actually enjoy it. If you read, about Michelangelo, that painted the Sistine Chapel, a lot of times great artists do menial labor, and I don't discount that. Look, if somebody cuts lawns or does something for a living, I respect anybody. And anyway, so what I do is I like to straighten up my own place. I live alone, so it's not too hard. It's a big place, but I use certain rooms I don't. Now, and people ask where I'm living. It's outside the Chicago area, my hometown, but I'm in Los Angeles a lot. Now, the reason I'm telling you guys this is to get a little bit of insight. All the guitars do need setups occasionally. What I do is I have them on a computer, on a spreadsheet, so I know, it's really, I'm going to show you, watch. You can walk, okay, this is my hallway here. Okay, I walk down a couple stairs, got a lot of stairs in my house, and then here's the guitars. I can walk around and get to everything. I can get to everything. Now I'm in the back of it. And so you can see, it's very logically placed. It looks, I'm crazy about it. And the guitars have to, when I look at it, those guitars better be lined straight up. I'm really weird about that. And I'm not a perfectionist. Perfectionism is a disease. No one is perfect. So if you strive for perfection, you will never attain it. So you have to strive for the best that you can do and call it a day. When you can say, I've done the best that I can do. That's it. I don't have more to give on this. Then, I call it a day. There's a nice Sawtooth guitar. I love that guitar. I've also got, do you see in the background there? Those are the original 7 strings of the quad guitar, the famous quad right there, the bad boy right there. And then I've got so many cool guitars. And you know what? I don't want to give them out. I don't want to give any of them away. I don't want to do anything with them. I just like them. But let's see. Anyway, and the reason I'm telling you guys all this is because, I've been doing these live streams for a year. It is a year since I've done a live show. It has also been well over a year since I've been with Sawtooth. Now, I'm going to show you something else. In my family, and this is something that you have to understand, I do not criticize anyone. Now, I'm in my family room. These ceilings are super high. They're like really high. I've got guitars way up in the stratosphere. Look at this. Okay. Look at that. I have guitars everywhere. Everywhere you look, there better be a guitar or a cool photo, or it ain't my house. And so, but I have a nice stereo up here, and I'm not saying this to give you a tour of my house. I'm telling you about the world according to Mikey. My world has been built upon playing a guitar, and doing the best I can and helping people. When I played and showed, on Speed Kills and some of the other instructional programs, I really tried to help. Now watch this. Look at this plant behind me. I call this plant Irene. This thing is a freaking monster. It is, I'm 185 centimeters about. Look at this, the plant's bigger than me. my grandfather and my great-grandfather, actually my great-grandfather, started a flower shop in the year 1885. And guess what? My first cousin Donnie still runs it. And so I have a history in my family of music, of art, and of business. And so, you know, if I've had any kind of privilege in my life, it's the privilege of having, and that's artwork from my nephew, Alex, who I love dearly. He's in the background there. And so what I was saying is this, that I've had the privilege of having really great family and being very artistic. And so when I got with Sawtooth, they, you know, like doing things like the hybrid guitars, I'm going to go back down now. It has been a true joy for me. It's been really, really incredible. And yeah, somebody said my home reflects me. Darn right. You know, everything. I've even got up here, like that's a little miniature quad. And here, this is where Tom Morello, the first time he ever talked about me in a guitar magazine. And I know he was on Howard Stern recently singing my praises, and that's really cool. But I just want everybody to know out there that, you know, some people say that they help. Some people say that, you know, oh, you know, like, for example, yes, I believe in climate change and I want to help the climate. And then they fly in their private jets, you know, to the conference, you know, where they're carbon. It's so hypocritical to me. But I've really tried to help. And I've tried to help in my instructional programs. Yeah, somebody wrote, it's very hard to break into the music business. Somebody wrote, do I do shows with that pretty brunette? I think you're talking about Marcy, or her real name's Marina. No, I haven't seen her in a couple of years. She moved to Nashville. It was only a very short-lived thing because I toured with her in Europe. She came to the United States. I did some shows. That's it. But I haven't even seen her or talked to her. Anyway, but I'm telling you guys this because I think it's important when you know a person. See, I even have, how do you like this? Batio Boulevard from Montana. Look at this in Montana. I got the keys, the double keys to the city of Glendive, Montana. October 3rd, there was a proclamation in Montana a few years ago that it was Michael Angelo Batio Day. And here's the official proclamations. And so, yeah, and someone wrote, actions speak better than words. See, it's easy in this day and age to talk or to look, you know, like you're doing really well, or to say you're wonderful. I've never said I'm wonderful. I never even said I was the fastest guitarist on earth. People voted me, and I'm coming back down to my studio. Yeah, stairs. Yeah, I have pictures of me, like that's a picture of me in the pretty boy era. All right, and then let's go back down. Now I'm going to tell you one last thing, a couple things before we cool it here tonight. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, I think this light is making my face redder. I have to admit. I'm going to figure that one out. But I have blue eyes, and I like the fact that they show on this. But I wanted to say this. You know, go to EPS Music and the people that are there. You can make choices in your life. One of the best things, and Jim Gillette said this to me, and I live by it. And I'm really close with Jim. We just talked the other day. Jim Gillette is a great human being. You know, being married to somebody as big as Lita Ford and then going through a divorce, a lot of people had a lot of, you know, things to say, good and bad about him, but he's a good guy. You know, he's a good guy, and he raised his kids really well. And I mean, that's all I can tell you. You know, I only know him as being really cool. And he's a walking death machine. He's the real deal. And so what I want to, if you get anything out of this, yeah, Joey claims it's his. Joey's been silent today because he knows the story. And the story is this, that nothing comes easy in life, but fate has a funny way. If you persevere and you go for it. Now, it's easy for me to say because I'm already successful, but again, nobody gave me this stuff. Nobody just walked into my parents' house when I was 10 years old and said, you're going to be a famous guitarist, we're going to give you stuff, lots of stuff. Stuff doesn't mean anything to me. I got a whole house full of stuff. A lot of things, you know, sometimes it makes me sad because when I see all these things, I realized my sister should have had half of this furniture, should have had half of the tangible things, not the guitars, but the furniture. My younger sister's gone. She's gone. And never in my life would I have thought, you know, you always think, yeah, your parents are probably going to be gone before you, but you never think your younger sister. You never do. And you know, and my nephew, I felt so terrible for him because he's 12 years old and his mom dies. Then all of a sudden, you know, and his dad just, then his dad's got to raise him and be Mr. Mom and Dad. And then my mom was like a second mom to him, and then she dies. Then on my brother-in-law's side, his parents died. So my nephew at 12 years old, and then the owner of Dean died, Elliot. Elliot was my friend. He was my brother. You know, it's not the same. See, Joe from Sawtooth, I feel the same connection, that we're really close as friends and business partners. It's something that I look for. And like I said with Jim, he had a phrase in Nitro: you can't soar with the eagles if you hang out with turkeys. The first thing in life that you want to do, not the first thing, but one of the very first things, is pick and choose the people you hang out with wisely. You can't choose your family, but family can either make you, destroy you, or just be indifferent to the whole thing. I saw my nephew. The only thing that I could do with Alex, he's a brilliant kid, is to show him through example that his uncle works hard. I work really hard, and I never, ever take what I have for granted. So, and I wanted this to be a serious lesson today, because it's a life lesson that we're all different. I never say that I can think like another person or that I can feel for you. And that's right. If you want to fly like an eagle, you hang out with eagles. You don't hang out with turkeys. And so rule number one for me is, even my family, I hang out with the family members I love, and I don't see the ones I don't like. And period. I don't like everybody. I'm sorry. I don't criticize anybody. I'd never go against my family and say anything. But I don't like everybody in my family, and I don't want to be around a lot of people. I just want to be around the people that make me feel good and make me feel positive. And I showed you this about what I have today because art runs in my family. I know what happened in my past. And I also know Adolf Schaller became a famous artist for NASA. So what Adolf did is, you know, he's my age. He would draw lunar landscapes. His works are in planetariums. He became a famous artist in that field. He loved astronomy and loved, you know, lunar landscapes. And he was such a fantastically gifted artist. I said, you know, I'm really gifted too, but I'm more gifted in music than art, even though I'm really good at art. And so I pursued what I was best at. And and this is why, you know, when you get my mental method programs, I'm just going to tell you, they work. I spent the time, you know, just like with Sawtooth and you know, Chromacast, the ET hybrids, they work because we spent the time to do it right. And doing it right stands the test of time. 10 years from now, I'm going to look at this hybrid and go, that is a cool guitar. And also 10 years from now, I'm going to ask myself, why was my face so red with this little circular thing? I'll figure that out. By next week, I swear, I'll have because when you see me in real life, my complexion's not this red. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, the point is this. Metal Method works. Sawtooth works. Chromacast works. The Go DPS Live app works. If you want to see the MAB band concert, this is Joe, one of the main owners of Chromacast, of the whole conglomerate, on drums. Kevin, one of the main owners, on vocals. These two people are powerhouses. They're incredibly musically gifted, but we never say products by musicians for musicians. We happen to have great people who actually play really good and sing really good, who are brilliant in business. And that's a combination you don't find all the time. And so I'm really happy to be with this. But I also, I sort out the eagles. You find the eagles. You want to soar. And so if you're having you know, there's a meme that says, look at your top five friends. If you like what you see, hang out. If you don't like what you see, you gotta change things. So anyway, I think that's about it. Check out my YouTube page. I'm doing a lot of content now. My new Randy Rhoads our Randy Rhoads tribute #2, yes, Divisible of My Metal, is debuting at 2 p.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. California time on my YouTube page. Now, also too, I've talked about my life a little bit, but I've shown you, and this is the thing, that anybody in this world can do what they want. It's not always easier. And look at, there's some people that are watching this that might have had it a lot harder than me. But there's also some people watching this that have probably had it a lot better than I had. And the main thing is this: you believe in yourself. Have faith that you can do it. Have faith that the people that you are with, look at, if Lennon didn't meet McCartney, and McCartney and Lennon didn't meet George Harrison, and George Harrison, Lennon and McCartney didn't meet Ringo Starr, they wouldn't be the Beatles. Okay, so even Peter Frampton grew up with David Bowie. That I didn't know. I learned that on the Howard Stern show. And so you find that when you hang out with the right people, the right things happen. And that goes in your personal life and in business. And I showed you a little bit about my house to show you I'm a student of history. I don't just talk it, I walk it. That's why Speed Kills is so good, because I studied history and I applied history to my methodology to teach you guitar. Now, lastly, this is how the world of Mikey is. Last night, I took a course. I was in on a lecture. It is called, check this, Forensic Musicology. And I listened for an hour and 45 minutes to the man who has fought on both sides of the law in cases involving plagiarism in music. He was the one who fought against, I think it's Alan Thicke or the younger Thicke, in the song Blurred Lines, and he won. He's the one who helped Eminem 10 years ago collect royalties when they weren't paying him. He's the top entertainment attorney in the entire world. And I just like to listen to what he had to say about copyright law, because now intellectual and artificial intelligence is becoming involved. So never think that MAB is just sitting around doing nothing. I have this house and everything in it is a positive experience for me. So I hope that this wasn't too serious for everybody today, but I can't say enough about Sawtooth Guitars, the ET Hybrid. It just works. But the world according to MAB, Joey and Robert, is this: that I had talent. I was born with talent and born with abilities, but I worked hard to make those abilities work for me. I knew I was going to be a famous guitarist when I was 10 years old and started playing guitar. And I've always tried to work with the best people that I can. And, with the old owner of Dean, Elliott just was amazing. He was my friend. It was way more than just, if we were in a war, I'd fight with that guy alongside him. And that's what I believe. When I have to be with a company, I have to believe in that. If I'm not believing that, I can't be with it. That's how I feel with Sawtooth and everybody. It's like we're in a gang. It's us. We are the family. And I have to be like that in order to be with people for a long term. And sometimes, I've made decisions on companies, and then after a year or two, I said, this isn't right for me. And it doesn't mean they're not really good. See, that's the thing. Even the new ownership of my old company, it doesn't mean they're not good. It just means I can't relate in any way to it, and I don't feel comfortable with it. So also, too, RME, the company RME, it's Syntax.com. They make those baby face interfaces. If you go to syntax.com, syntax.com, they are going to have a contest, which I am judging. They want to find the next big talent. And so I'm going to be judged the finals. So what I can tell you is this, they're a great company again, and I really like the people that work there. And you're going to win a Babyface, which is about $1,000 units, the Babyface Pro. But in conclusion to all this, I had a great time talking to you tonight. I wanted to get a little serious about this because a lot of things in life change. And with COVID, it's been a year since I've done a live concert, a year. I've never gone my entire life without playing a show in a year. Maybe a month, maybe 6 weeks, but not a year. Joey's like, I want to play. I want to show I'm the greatest. Yes, 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 yes. Joey's like freaking, I want to just do this. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. So we can't do it, but I'm going to be on tour in November in Europe. I feel really good about that. Anyway, I want to thank you. I'm Angelo Batio. I showed you a little bit about the world according to Mikey. My house is my world, the way you see it, but it's a big world. I've lived it, I've played it, I've seen it. And then what I do in my teachings or my talks is I just tell you without criticism what my experiences are. See, I'm not here to criticize. I'm not here to tell you about my political views or my religious views. That's up to you. I'm just here to tell you that my being a student of history has helped me keep the profile and the high impact that I have on music because I know what happened before me. And it's such a blessing to know that your knowledge takes you from square one all the way up the chain without saying, well, God, man, I never heard of that, or oh, I didn't know that existed. And so that's why I think such young players are so good today. They have people like me to tell them like it is and actually prove and show that this is real, that I'm not just telling you something and then doing another thing. I'm telling you it and telling you something and doing it. Anyway, thank you. I'm Angelo Batio for Sawtooth Guitars, Sawtooth Amps, ChromaCast products, and the Go DPS Live app. Remember, download that bad boy app and you get 20% off anything through the app. App is free. You can watch our concert. You can do all this stuff. So anyway, thank you. See ya.